Janet Mills, who's of course the Democratic nominee for governor, was here in Portland earlier today doing some last-minute campaign pushes, and of course she'll be here later tonight when this event officially takes off. But right now I'm joined with Scott Ogden, who's the communications director for the Mills campaign. So what is the feeling tonight? Have you talked to Janet Mills today?
I've been with Janet all day long.
Officials say because of limited manpower, this fire spread from a chimney fire to engulf the whole house. Something notable about this Equal Rights Amendment is the large number of co-sponsors. If you look at the fine print, you'll see senators and representatives supporting it from all corners of the state, from Kittery to Calais. The death is believed to be suspicious, and officials say when they got to the scene, the car was in the very back corner of this rarely used parking lot, facing away from the street. So parts of the border are more isolated than others. I'm standing in Baileyville right now, but behind me across the railroad tracks is Canada. I'm told there's a train that comes through here 2 or 3 times a day. We're here at the Collins Center in Orono, where we've got the wheel and we've got the hosts, Marty and Mallory, for tomorrow's auditions, who are very excited. So guys, first off, lead me through what we have here on stage. What can people expect if they come here tomorrow to audition? All right, that's all we've got. So if you want to do this tomorrow, you know where to be. Back to you. Park rangers tell me the goal of this project is to replace these stone steps that lead up to the trail. Over the years, they've sunk back into the ground and have become uneven. Only in Maine would you have a multi-day festival dedicated just to these guys. Bangor PD's newest recruit is about to get into some training to make sure her time here on the force is not a rough life. Those on the select board tell me they don't think they'll have a problem getting new recruits for this fire department. In fact, by the time I left the town office on Thursday afternoon, that recruit number was already up to 4 people. And if you need to park on the street during this winter weather, there are some things you should know before you leave your car in park overnight. Tonight, a Hancock County man is dead after a motorcycle crash. With so much attention directed toward the southern border of the United States, we take a look at issues along the Canadian border. Tonight after the game, the latest on the Castle Hill double homicide investigation.
We are here gathering on the Ides of March, the day that Brutus betrayed Julius Caesar.
Those opposed to the CMP power line rallied Friday at the State House, saying they feel betrayed by some government leaders. The opponents take issue with a planned 53-mile hydroelectric power line that would carry energy from Quebec to Massachusetts by building through the woods of western Maine. A bill in the legislature could delay that process by requiring a greenhouse gas emission study from the DEP.
I'm really skeptical that this project has any benefits to Maine people. We need to know whether the greenhouse gas impacts are real.
But project representatives testified they've already done greenhouse gas studies. They also say the power line would bring more than 3 million metric tons of carbon reduction, the equivalent of taking more than 700,000 cars off the road.
Our major concern is what we consider the existential risk of climate change, and any delay in this project coming online is critical.
Others favoring the CMP transmission line say they are against the bill because it needlessly delays approval from state agencies.
This bill circumvents that insulation for one project and one project alone. That's a problem.
Some lawmakers are undecided on the bill for the same reason.
I think we need to be careful that we don't add additional standards at the last minute, especially if that information is already available in the file.
But those against the power line believe it's not as green of a deal as project leaders say.
It would be shifted power that Hydro-Quebec is giving to other markets to meet clean energy goals. It would have to be new power.
And they're calling on Governor Janet Mills to take another look at her support for a line that would go through an untouched piece of Maine.
It's the doorstep to the North Maine woods. You take a wrecking ball of that, and that's going to be your legacy.
The people behind me who support the bill hope it will continue to delay the project. If the bill were to move forward, the DEP would have to submit their findings by June of this year. Reporting in Augusta, I'm Kelly Mitchell for ABC 7 and Fox 22. The United States' southern border with Mexico has captured the nation's attention and many of its resources. While the spotlight may not always shine on our boundary with Canada, the work done in this part of the country is crucial for national safety. Here's a look at how Border Patrol agents keep watch over the rugged terrain of the edge of Maine's Washington County. With undeveloped woodlands and choppy seas, patrolling Maine's border with New Brunswick is no easy task.
Maine's a very big, beautiful state with all sorts of rural wooded area.
Officials say Maine is unique in that its border patrol sector covers all of the state, not including the coastal part. The land border with Canada is nearly 300 miles. At the border of Calais and St. Stephen, New Brunswick, you'll find Customs and Border Protection officers at the physical checkpoints, while Border Patrol agents are on the ground stopping illegal activity.
On the southwest border, they have a very high volume of apprehensions down there. We don't see that up here.
Still, here in Maine, the number of people caught entering the country illegally is rising. According to numbers from Customs and Border Protection, there were 52 apprehensions in fiscal year 2018. That's up from 30 in 2017 and 25 in fiscal year of 2016. And with rising numbers, agents keep in mind the terrain they're dealing with.
It's just rugged and remote, and kind of a lot of parts of it are difficult to access, so we need special vehicles and tools.
Much of Washington County's border is made of water, either the ocean or a river. Aside from the usual points of entry, officials say there are 3 train crossings in the greater Calais area that don't have an official checkpoint. So parts of the border are more isolated than others. I'm standing in Baileyville right now, but behind me across the railroad tracks is Canada. I'm told there's a train that comes through here 2 or 3 times a day. Trains from nearby paper mills are expected to check in with the port of entry in Calais, but the train is not physically inspected when it crosses the bridge. Instead, areas like this and further north closer to Holton have technology like real-time cameras and ground sensors.
The ground sensors that we have merely indicate that something is going on, but not exactly what. With the cameras, we're actually able to see what is going on.
We have seen people crossing illegally just walking across the train trestles, and so we've had some people that we've arrested.
Closer to Holton, the border turns into more of a true land border. Known as the Slash, the border is a gap in the wood line between the 2 countries. Near Amity about 5 years ago, Border Patrol agents say they stopped a man associated with the Hamas terrorist group who was in the woods for 3 days. And while Maine's geography offers challenges, it aided in his capture.
That happened in October, so he was kind of cold, pretty tired out there after 3 days, so he was ready to get caught.
Of the 21,000 U.S. Border Patrol agents stationed nationwide, about 200 are here in Maine. They say they do the best they can with the resources they have.
The geography of it is that it's a lot of area to cover and not as many resources as we could use.
The agents I spoke with started their Border Patrol careers at the southern border and say Maine's environment presents some special challenges. In part 2, we'll take a closer look at the water border that separates Washington County and Canada by going on patrol with Marine agents off Eastport. Back to you. Only in Maine would you have a multi-day festival dedicated just to these guys.
You won't leave here hungry, that's for sure.
People from all over the country turned out for the 72nd Maine Lobster Festival in Rockland.
We came up from South Carolina. We decided Sunday, when we heard about this, we were going. So in the car we went.
We were here last year and couldn't miss it again this year. We already ate our lobster roll.
Along with the, you guessed it, seafood vendors, there's carnival rides, artists, and cooking competitions. Organizers say more than 100 vendors attended this year, including some from as far as Florida.
We give all of the money back to the community above and beyond our operating costs.
After some controversy last year when the Sea Goddess lost her title over posts online, organizers say they've made positive changes. Some of the littlest lobster lovers agree a good time was had by all.
So I am at this lobster festival, having a great time.
Well, what are you guys going to eat today?
Fish and chips.
For those not looking for whitefish, we're told the festival serves between 15 and 20,000 pounds of lobster. I got to meet one of them while setting up a camera shot.
Kelly, I'd like to introduce you to Marcus. This is Marcus the lobster.
The verdict is still out on why that lobster was named Marcus, but we know why people keep coming back.
The community all comes together. All the people from the greater Rockland area step up and they welcome the world.
Reporting in Rockland, I'm Kelly Mitchell for ABC 7 and Fox 22. I hope you have a good start to your work week. Good night.